Greetings, my saplings. Alright, so in today's video, we are going to be discussing the Off-White and Nike Air Max 97 Menta, and also the Air Max 97 Off-White in black. To be specific, like always in these How to Cop guides, we will be mentioning some release info for both of these shoes, some background information, and of course, how to cop the sneakers, and finally, some resale predictions. For those of you who just want to skip to the How to Cop portion of the video, I'll leave a time right here, but for the rest of you, let's jump right into this. So like always, let's begin with the silhouette for this sneaker. The man behind the design, actually, Christian Tresser. Now, he's not your typical designer in a sense that he actually wanted to be a professional soccer player, and initially he started off just being an artist. Now, while in art school, he also worked in his father's auto body shop. In this auto body shop, he actually started a conversation with a Reebok's design consultant who stated that he actually needed someone just like him to draw his ideas for him, and this eventually led him to staying in the community. So from 1992 to 1996, he worked for Reebok, but then afterwards he moved to Nike and stayed there from 1996 to 1997, where he created the Air Max 97. Now, it is a misconception when it comes to the Air Max 97 that they were inspired from bullet trains in Japan. This actually wasn't the case at all. In fact, Tresser was actually inspired by bicycles. Yes, it was mountain bikes with their titanium metal frames which inspired the original Air Max 97. Now, in addition to this, for the design of the sneaker, it was actually nature that helped inspire the design of the sneaker. Those bumps that you see on the side of the sneaker, those are supposed to represent the little ripples of water that a raindrop would leave after it landed in a puddle. Furthermore, for its time, hidden laces were actually quite an innovation, but now, finally, jumping to 2017, Virgil added his very first touch to it. Now, I think Virgil did a fantastic job with this. I got my pair in hand, and regrettably, I actually sold that pair. I wish I held on to it. But now, you know, we got another chance to get two more Off-White Air Max 97s. We got the Mentas releasing, and also the black Off-White Air Max 97s releasing. The Mentas will be releasing on the 18th for $190, and the blacks will be releasing, well, that's why we're going to jump into the How to Cop guide. So, we're actually going to start with the Mentas, and then we'll jump to the black pair, and if you're confused right now, don't worry, we'll get to it. So for Europe, the product page already came up in all of the countries where it usually does come up. Now for Europe, it will be a draw at 4 a.m. Eastern time, depending on what country you're in. Of course, you could just do a quick time conversion. And in addition to that, Canada also just loaded these up for 11 a.m. Eastern time. Now for Canada, it's not going to be a draw. It's actually just going to be a first come, first serve. So for Canada, you're just going to want to spam the add to cart button. It's really going to be chaotic, unfortunately, for you guys. Now for the US does not have a product page for these as of now, which is completely normal. Don't worry, guys. Based off of previous Off-White and Nike releases, we've seen that when they load up on Canada and Europe, they tend to do the sneakers pass one day before, which would, in this case, be Wednesday the 17th. This will occur at around noon time, noon being on Eastern time. Now, most likely, we will get the 15-minute warning for these. For a lot of shoes recently, we haven't, but for all Off-White and Nike shoes, we have been getting the 15-minute warning. So once you get the 15-minute warning, I wouldn't treat it as 15 minutes just to be safe. I would stay on the app the entire time until it goes live. I know you're taking like 10 to 15 minutes out of your day, but in my opinion, I think it's worth it. Personally, I've never copped from a sneakers pass just because there's so few pairs, and this is actually a first come, first serve process. It's all about speed. So if you happen to be home, good internet connection is obviously going to help, but I understand, like me, I'm going to be at school. Some of you guys are going to be at school. Some of you guys are going to be at work as well, and I totally understand that. So if you don't happen to cop from here, don't stress it, because the day after, they should be releasing on the 18th, and the product page for them will load up a couple of hours after the sneakers pass. And just like Europe, we should be getting a draw as well, which is quite unfortunate because manual users don't do quite so well on draws. When it comes to Leo drops, we often do pretty well. When it comes to draws, however, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but we don't see as much success as we have seen with Leo drops. So hopefully we do see that, but I am expecting a draw for these. So when it comes to draws, obviously, you're going to want to make as many accounts as possible. You guys already know the deal. Come on, you guys are professionals. And just as a quick refresher, you can use the same address. I do suggest using different payment methods on each account, but if you only have one, I believe you could have the same payment method on max 3 accounts. I would not try using any more than that, or else you risk it getting banned. In addition to that, I would suggest only having 3 accounts max per IP address. Otherwise, you do risk getting IP banned. And by the way, if you do happen to get IP banned, it's just a soft ban. You're going to be completely fine for the next release. It only lasts 8 hours, sometimes 4 hours, something like around the lines of that. So yeah, that's it for Nike sneakers for the Menta pair. And there was also a raffle for these that I tweeted out. Unfortunately, this is closed, and that was it. I'm really hoping that some more raffles pop up, but unfortunately, as of now, I don't see any. Moving on to the black Off-White Air Max 97. Let's talk about these things. So initially, the date was supposed to be November 10th, and it's very possible that we still will see November 10th, if not for sneakers, still for a lot of main retailers. And honestly, November 10th does make sense, considering images have loaded up onto Nike sneakers, but there's still no product page on Europe or Canada. But it is also very, very possible that we will see a shock drop for these. The main reason, of course, being that Pirates, a pretty reliable source, tweeted out that this would in fact be the case. Pirates isn't always correct, but for the most part they are, and they are a respectable source, so I would treat this very seriously, guys. And of course, this also makes sense because, like I was mentioning before, for the November 10th release, images are loaded, but there's still no product page for these. So just to be safe, I would stay on the lookout for these, just because for this month we should be on the lookout for the Serena Williams Blazers anyway. And for anyone who's asking right now, when is the shock drop? Well, that's quite an ironic question, just because it's a shock drop. You're not really supposed to know when it's going to happen. But I understand. How do you know when it's going to shock drop? You know, when it goes live, how do people know? Don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you. So first of all, J23 app and also Solinks will tweet out when a shock drop goes live. These are the slowest ways to find out when a shock drop goes live, but you know, it's still efficient and many people do cop this way. The only issue I find with these Twitter accounts is that they do tweet out very often, sometimes with affiliate links and some sales that you really don't care about, and it does become a nuisance. So these probably aren't the best methods. If you want to, you can turn on tweet notifications for them, but I think my favorite method, just because it's completely free, is the Solinks app. Guys, I'm not sponsored by Solinks, and I have not contacted Solinks at all. I just think that this is a really great app. Not only does it have all the releases on there, but it will notify you when a shock drop goes live. So I would suggest downloading this app while it's free, because I mean, it's a free app. It can't hurt you. So Solinks is probably my #1 way, but if you want something marginally faster, it's not going to make a huge difference, you can join some cook groups as well. I'm going to list some cook groups for you that I happen to stumble upon in no particular order. These will include Soul City, Fake Success, SG Cooks, and Restock Time. And also, a good Slack group other than Discord would include Bacantha Sub. Not only are their monitors very fast, but they also have very nice communities within there. And again, just to clarify, I'm not sponsored by any of them, and they have never even told me to mention these in a video. There are also many other cook groups out there. I just have not personally tried them out, so I wouldn't feel comfortable advising for you to go join them or check them out if I haven't personally tried it. These though, for sure, if you were looking for a cook group, these are great, but if I'm being honest, guys, I think you're fine with the Solinks app when it comes to shock drops alone, just because one, it's completely free, and cook groups are only marginally faster. It's not a huge difference, and considering shock drops are Leo drops, it really doesn't matter, guys. So again, this is just me trying to help you guys out. Being that shock drops are Leo drops, you should try to get in as many accounts as possible. The only issue is that shock drops happen at any time. So you might not be home and you might only have your phone. For this, what you can try is on your app trying to purchase one and then signing into Safari and also on Google Chrome on some accounts. This is going to be very difficult though, just because when it comes to shock drops or just limited shoes in general, the window for these Leo drops is only like 1 to 2 minutes, which isn't going to give you a lot of time. So if I'm being honest, just try your best to at least get in one account. And also, guys, when it comes to these shock drops, you have to understand that there is a limit to this. They're just shoes, guys, and if you're not considering them as shoes, it's still just money we're talking about. You don't want to put your life in danger for shoes like this. I really do suggest when you're driving in your car, keep your phone in your pocket, because if you happen to see a notification for these while you're driving, it's going to be tempting to go and try to purchase them. I would not want any of you guys getting hurt at all, so please, when you're driving, keep your phone in your pockets, guys. If you happen to take an L, that's fine. It's much better than getting hurt or hurting someone else. Of course, there should be other things prioritized before this, such as school or work. It's just whenever you have free time, feel free to keep your phone on your desk desk or something like that and just watch for those notifications. So again, I just want to make it clear that there should be a limit when it comes to these shock drops. You don't want Nike destroying your personal life. Anyway, with the head of cup out of the way, let's move on to some resale predictions. So with a retail of $190, these are absolutely not going to be profitable at all. It's just a waste of money. Of course, guys, these are going to be profitable. You should expect profits to be somewhat similar to the off-white Prestos that we saw release. I'm expecting profits to be somewhat lower than that, but regardless, it's still going to be profitable. You're only paying around $200 for these things. So yeah, I'd suggest going for them. If you want a personal pair, of course, don't sleep on these shoes, resale purposes, as these are going to be profitable. With that though, I'm going to conclude today's video. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video or if you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also, subscribe and turn on notifications if you happen to be new, just to stay updated on these shoes and really any hype shoe that's going to be releasing in the future. With that though, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Good luck, of course.
Get your foot on my foot. 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 Yeah. Get your foot on my foot. Yeah. Get your foot on my foot. 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 Yeah. Get your foot on my foot. Yeah. The F to the double O, even the T.